Hello, everyone, and welcome to Heartland's Community Connected by Change webinar. My name is Amar Ahmed, and I will be your host this morning. We have some great speakers today who will walk through topics around leveraging the right partnerships and how it can help your business, as well as how marketing automation can help drive growth in your business. I'm an Apple user, and my wife is Android, and I'll tell you what she told me: marketing works. Before we get started, I did want to let everybody on this call know that we are going to be giving away an Apple Watch Series 6 at the end of the webinar. Now, you might be wondering, how do I qualify? Well, all you have to do is stay till the end of the webinar, and we will announce the winner then. Also, should you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to drop them in the chat on the right-hand side of your screen, and we will try to get to those at the end of our pre-submitted questions. So as stated earlier, my name is Amar, and I'm the Director of Billing Solutions at Heartland. I, along with my incredible team, lead our bill pay product and Heartland ACH service. The bill pay product serves thousands of customers across the government technology space. So think of tax collectors, court systems. In addition, we also serve utilities, medical, so think about like hospitals and doctors' offices, like a conglomerate. Property management, so communities like for collecting rent payments, and pretty much anyone who bills a customer for services rendered. Now, bill pay isn't exciting, right? It's a mundane task for many of us. For me, I set it and forget it. Just take it out of my bank account or charge my card, and I'll talk to you if I see charges I don't agree with. It's a need, right? And it has been integrated as a norm into our lives. Now, here's a challenge. Let's think back to February of 2020. And yes, I know that feels like almost 2 years ago, but let's think about how COVID-19 pandemic changed the norm of our lives. It disrupted our ecosystem, but it didn't break it. So many businesses adapted to the changes of our socioeconomic environment. Restaurants that I used to order from who did not have a pickup or online order capability, all of a sudden did. Businesses had to go remote and learn how to keep moving forward through virtual meetings and whiteboard sessions. Small businesses needed help trying to figure out how to apply for the Paycheck Protection Program or the PPP or the CARES Act, right, to keep afloat. Courts and tax collectors had to focus on adding or expanding their digital channel for their constituents to pay their speeding tickets. Many of them probably preferred that the courts shut down so they didn't have to, but courts adjusted and they still wanted their money for their speeding tickets or state taxes. But when we think about that, like, these organizations didn't create these solutions to their problems overnight. Right? It's not as if they realize that they're in a pandemic and all of a sudden it's, hey, we need to get our entire development team and try to figure out how to develop this functionality in order to help with solving this issue. A lot of customers don't even have development teams, right? So what they did was leverage partners like Heartland to help them through this process and to pivot fast. So I want to dig a little deeper into the concept of pivoting and partnership, especially in the e-commerce space. I'd like to introduce right now Angela Suma, who's our strategic partner specialist, and Webb Griebel, who's the senior director of online payments, who will discuss how the right products and partnerships can help you tap
And thanks very much, Amar, for having us. We really appreciate the nice intro and appreciate everybody participating today. Today, actually, Angela and I are going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about how businesses really have been able to sort of lift and shift and change the way they operate and really communicate together with their customers, their community, interact and exchange ideas around how do we run our businesses and how are we able to protect and grow revenue in such a difficult and uncharted time. So I think we're going to review a few different things. We're going to look at opportunities, the way that businesses have been able to leverage partnerships and leverage new product technologies and focus on the things that will help them to adapt in a really rapidly changing scenario. right? So pandemics like this don't just behave negatively. They actually show the bright spots in the world and how people have come together and how they're able to innovate and ideate and be able to run their businesses in different ways and be able to serve their customers in different ways in a safe environment during unpredictable times. So with that, I'll turn it back to you, Angela, and we can go from there.
Sure, Webb, thanks. I'd be happy to. In the midst of chaos and uncertainty, sometimes we need to shift our focus and reprioritize what's important. I think many of us have done this in our personal as well as our professional lives this year. It's been a rough year for so many people. And if you own a business, you most certainly have had to dig deep to pivot and find quick solutions to the challenges you faced as a business owner. We have certainly learned a lot about the importance of delivering solutions through product innovation and partnerships quickly and effectively in order to help support customers, our partners, and our employees. Businesses are finding new ways to manage and increase their cash flow through new and alternative efforts while providing products and services with the most effective contactless solutions to its customers now more than ever. If you needed to add on a product or a service to your offering in order to help your clients, your customers, your community members, your family or friends, or any of your customers worldwide, you had to find a solution quickly this year. You may have needed to scrape any revenue together possible in order to pay your employees or rent or mortgage, to put food on the table, to put food on the table of your employees, or just to stay afloat. You may have had to dip into your savings account or take out a loan. You may have had to cut salaries, furlough employees, or even lay off employees because of the pandemic. You may have just been trying to add on more products and services to drive additional revenue to your clients or your company. Think about all the different products that businesses may have needed this year that they didn't have in years past. Businesses may have needed one solution or a number of solutions to keep their business going. Webb, do you think you can provide some examples of products that businesses may have needed to evolve their business this year?
Oh my gosh, be glad to, Angela. There's so many things that you can think about. Obviously, the ones that are ever present that you actually have seen when you've been into a store, like plexiglass barriers and things along those lines that help protect people in the face-to-face environment. But there's also the technologies that really help to innovate and help businesses in a contactless world. So such things as online ordering solutions, curbside solutions, contactless payments options, contactless and mobile commerce scenarios, just all different types of things. If you think about the contactless environments and the way that we have to do our business now, there's such things that they have to think about, like fraud mitigation. How can they protect themselves and their customers from being preyed upon during these difficult times? So there's a myriad of solutions that businesses have been able to leverage in short order to help their customers do businesses how and where they want to, and in an environment that makes them feel safe and able to conduct their day-to-day lives.
Those are some great examples, Webb. There are so many, aren't there? Some others that come to mind are PPP loans. Maybe businesses needed access to funds that they didn't need prior, and they needed to apply for PPP programs in order to pay their employees or pay bills. They may have needed flexible billing options in order to facilitate recurring payments. Businesses may have needed the ability to pay online by their website or an email, text messaging, or pay by phone. They might have needed an IVR, an interactive voice response solution, in order to add a call center where maybe they had to furlough or let go of their call center staff and they still needed somebody to answer the phone. Some businesses may have needed a business management tool to move their customers to a more flexible, mobile-friendly experience, because before they only had the ability to take cards in person. They may have needed the ability to add on convenience fees or surcharging capabilities. Or maybe you just needed to talk to somebody. Maybe you needed somebody to pick up the phone and provide you with help in navigating this new world because you didn't know how to move from a standard in-person business to an online business. Whatever the need was or still is, there's a company out there that can help provide it. That's the beauty of partnerships. You can partner with a company that does something that you need, and they specialize in that. You are not alone. In most cases, a new solution can be up and running faster than it would be if you implemented it yourself. Even if you plan to build a service or product as part of your long-term strategy down the road, you can still partner with a company to help you in the short term to provide that solution to your customers and provide the extra benefit of additional revenue. Creative partnerships engage consumers, they increase overall buy-in and conversion. If two businesses collectively come together with a common goal or message, the brand trust also increases significantly, helping both parties. I could go on and on about the importance of having a good partnership. There's just so many benefits of having a good partnership in business, especially today. Let's switch topics for a moment, though. Consumer behavior and purchasing habits are changing and shifting toward digital services and subscriptions. It has been over the last few years, but now more than ever, things have changed to be more online. Webb, can you give a couple examples of how you've seen things change recently?
Of course, Angela, I'd be glad to talk about that. We've seen an enormous shift in digital services and subscriptions over the last few months, especially in areas that we hadn't seen much over the past 10 years, for example. I recently heard a statistic actually that said online and mobile commerce has increased or has advanced by 5 years just from the December of 2019. So in the past 6 months, it's advanced at a rate of about 5 years, which is a really rapid pace. We've seen growth, as I mentioned, we've seen growth in sectors that historically hadn't seen much growth in. So such things as home services and professional services, which historically used to use paper checks for payments or sometimes even cash. Now they're delivering invoices electronically, enabling customers to pay contactlessly, and getting money much more quickly in, which is helpful with cash flow in these tough economic times. Consumers are also working towards using different entertainment options. So streaming services have grown significantly, home-based services that help folks facilitate their hobbies and things that entertain them as they've been on lockdown. Also, installation of computer networks and servers and internet services and things like that at home as folks have been moving from their offices to home-based work environments. So there's so much been going on in that space, it's hard to even touch all of them. But I will say, last but not least, is home fitness, including virtual classes and the shift of virtual from physical gym memberships to virtual gym memberships, and the purchase of home workout equipment so that folks can keep fit while they're still in their home environment. In fact, Angela, let me pass it back to you.
Yeah, those are some good examples, Webb. It's crazy how things have changed so quickly this year, isn't it? I know that I have personally and professionally experienced this shift. I've also seen a lot of businesses that are applying more automation to their businesses where they may have had a manual process or in-person transactions. Some of those include automating and streamlining the business to remove the physical contact so that there isn't any or less now. During the pandemic especially, this is important. Digital invoices have helped to provide businesses the opportunity for customers to pay online 24/7. Automatic subscription and recurring payment options have helped to eliminate the manual work and provide faster payment from the customers. Some businesses have needed to migrate their Net 30 invoice terms or paper invoices over to a software-based solution to be able to accept credit card payments and ACH payments in order to increase cash flow. And then there's the automatic account updater, which ensures that customers' billing information is updated automatically. So if there's a new card number that's been given by the card issuer or the expiration date has changed, that information will update automatically so that there's no interruption in future payments. This has helped some businesses significantly over the last few months. I know that you had mentioned fraud solutions before as a need for businesses, and with the increased amount of online payments that are happening now, there's also the increased focus on security, fraud prevention, and buyer authentication. Can you give a couple examples of how businesses are providing more security for their business to protect their customer information these days?
Certainly, Angela. So at this point, all technologists in commerce should be implementing fraud mitigation as well as buyer authentication capabilities for their customers. It will protect their customers and their businesses during these uncertain times. Merchants and software providers need to ensure measures are in place to keep the sensitive credit card data from ever touching their technology environments. No one wants to handle that hot potato data. Leave it to the experts. Keep it out of your system. And if you're ever engaging with your point of sale provider or e-commerce provider, you want to make sure that you're asking them and making sure that they are using solutions that will keep your system safe from having any of that sensitive data. And last but not least, ensuring that security measures like tokenization or 3D Secure and advanced fraud screening are in place. All these things are necessary to both protect your customers and your business from major loss. And of course, there's PCI compliance, which is absolutely essential these days. Gone are the days where you can store credit cards in your network. You need to make sure that you've got all these safeguards in place and making sure that you're working with a payment service provider that will allow you and your business to be fully PCI compliant and make it easy and accurate in filling out your PCI DSS SAQ form every year. Back to you, Angela.
Yeah, that's wonderful. From a consumer perspective, I know that I'm always concerned about the security of my data online, and I appreciate that there's so many different options available to help protect both the business and the consumers. We talked a lot about the importance of partnerships to add additional products and services to an existing offering. What should a business look for when they're looking to establish a new partnership?
I love talking about partnerships, Angela. And there are three principles that really come to mind when I'm thinking about a good partnership for a business. First is it's got to be mutually beneficial. It should never be a one-sided partnership. The combined output of the partnership should deliver greater value and or efficiency than the individual inputs from either party. And lastly, but certainly not least, customers should be the primary beneficiaries of the partnership. In our business, I can think through a number of examples. So I'll just sort of paint with broad strokes here, but we have hundreds of software partners today. And these partners solve business processes and serve verticals across all types of industries. They're very good at their craft. They know how to create efficiencies and how to streamline a business owner or merchant's business. And at the end of their business process, they usually require payment, certainly if they're a partner of ours, because that's the business we're in. Essentially, when we partner with them, we provide really low friction, highly secure, easy to engage with payment solutions that can integrate with their software solution such that it retains the look and feel, the merchant experience is consistent, the customer's experience is consistent, and they're able to do business how and when and where they want to in the most efficient way. It's really a 1 + 1 = 3, right? And at the end of the day, it puts us in a position where both us and the software partner are able to serve our mutual customer with the highest level of quality of service and care and deliver the best results for them in the end. Really enjoyed our time today. I hope that my piece and those of my colleagues was beneficial to you, and I certainly wish you a happy and healthy closing to 2020 and beyond. Thanks.
Thank you all so much for your time today. We really appreciated having you with us. If you're looking for any of the solutions that we may have discussed today, feel free to reach out to us. Either we have a solution that can help you, or we have over 2,000 different partners across the world that offer a variety of solutions in every vertical. Webb and I have really appreciated being here with you today, and we hope that you enjoyed our presentation.
Thank you, Webb and Angela. That was great. Just to quickly recap in terms of what Webb and Angela essentially discussed about just partnerships and e-commerce boom. We've had, like I said, the running theme is going to be around like partnerships and adapting and pivoting fast, right? So as Webb and Angela mentioned, adapting to technology in a contactless world, right? Like online ordering, contactless, I think mobile commerce, the ability to create like recurring payments and having alternative payment accepting methods such as pay by phone or IVR, determining how to reduce or eliminate merchant services costs by charging fees. Those are key problems that businesses were and are still facing during this pandemic. And partnerships are key in that, as evident by the fact that, as Angela showed, that 54% of companies relate good partnerships drive 20% of total revenue. That's a pretty significant number in terms of total revenue. But again, it should be with a partner that is focused on mutual benefit, right? As Webb mentioned on the 3 principles, right? So mutual benefit, greater output than the input, and someone who leads with a customer first mindset. But in addition to that, someone who focuses on fraud, compliance, security mitigation efforts as well. So let's pivot. And I have the pleasure of introducing Keith Hall, VP of Marketing for Global Payments, who will discuss how automation is reshaping marketing and how business is getting done. So Keith.
Hello, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Keith Hall, and I'm the VP of Digital Marketing for the Merchant segment at Global Payments. I've spent the past 15 years working in digital marketing, where I focus heavily on customer acquisition and revenue generation. My goal with this webinar is to provide a detailed blueprint to marketing automation. With that, I hope this is informative and provides some insights to further growing your business. Let's get started with understanding marketing automation. And the main question really is, what is marketing automation? Well, it is the technology that allows companies to streamline, automate, and measure marketing tasks and workflows so they can increase operational efficiency and grow revenue faster. Now, what does that mean? It really means nurturing, prioritizing, and recycling leads to convert into revenue opportunity. Here's how it would work. You can look at 3 different buckets: workflow, use case, and measurement. Let's talk about workflow for a moment. It allows targeting of customers with automated messages across email, web, social, and text. Messages are deployed automatically based on sets of directions through workflows. Workflows may be templates, custom built, or modified mid-campaign to achieve better results. Let's talk about use case. Marketing and sales should partner so that there is a consistent flow to automated campaigns. The process will help maximize online campaigns to deliver both increased revenue and maximize efficiency. Effective marketing automation allows employees to handle more complicated campaigns versus managing repetitive tasks and helps reduce human error. On to measurement. Automation is key in lead generation, nurturing, and scoring. Effectively used automated campaigns allow easy access to measuring ROI. A well-designed marketing automation campaign allows the department to scale along with the overall company's goals. Companies that excel at lead nurture generates 50% more sales-ready leads at a 33% lower cost. Now that we understand marketing automation and how it works, let's find out what does it do for you. It allows for the implementation of a digital strategy without a manual process. It helps define the right audience to target. It allows access to design effective campaign flows and layouts. Actions are triggered based on scheduled timelines and customer behavior. Analyze campaigns' effectiveness. Let's talk about why marketing automation is so important. Keep in mind, no lead management equals a leaky funnel. Here's how to stop the leak. Identify the prospects and understand their journey. Map sales and marketing practices to the buying journey. Streamline the segmentation and targeting processes to determine the right audiences quickly and at scale. Use marketing automation integrated with a CRM to deliver the right content to the prospect at the right time. Create lead scoring and nurturing programs that enables the handoff warmer leads to sales. Measure and adapt best based on testing. Now that we know how to stop the leak, let's talk about the biggest perceived benefit of marketing automation. This can lead to over 70% time savings from the more manual processes. Some can see a 68% increase in customer engagement, a 58% increase in more timely communication because you can set it and forget it. You can also see a 58% increase in opportunities, including upsell and cross-sell. Now, how do we get to a positive ROI with marketing automation? In a study done by Marketo a few years ago, it shows that most mature users of marketing automation achieve a 32% greater revenue versus their plan than average companies. Understanding that each company is a bit different and the use case may vary, but overall the investment in marketing automation usually pays itself off quickly. Now, before I close today, I wanted to provide you with some additional information as you go through building your marketing automation strategy. First, you want to define and present your goals. Use real numbers to justify the investment in a marketing automation platform to your key stakeholders. Collaborate with your teams. Your marketing automation strategy will touch several teams in your company. Get their input and buy-in before you begin. Create process visualization. Use detailed diagrams of your marketing automation workflow to relay your big picture objectives to your entire organization efficiently and effectively. Prepare for database segmentation. Consider your customer data. Think about who you'd like to engage and why. Prepare your content strategy. Build your content library. Create interesting, engaging, and relevant messaging designed to reach all stages of the customer lifecycle. Plan a slow rollout. The world's most successful marketing automation firms stagger their launches. Test early and optimize the next block of programs to give yourself the best chance of success. Analyze as you go. See what's working and what's not. Use some of the time you get back from automating to dig into the analytics and make the changes that will help your business grow. I really hope that the information I've provided here was pretty effective. that you can use some of that information. I want to thank the team that put this webinar together. I want to thank you for attending this webinar, and I look forward to any questions you may have. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Keith. You know, again, just to recap, right, in terms of what Keith just discussed, you know, what I took away from there were like kind of 4 key areas of focus in marketing automation when we really look at it, right? So Keith talked about workflow, which is targeting customers of automated messages across email, social, or text. Use case was the other one, which is just a consistent flow to automate campaigns to reduce the human error, but then also having you know, employees be able to handle more complicated campaigns. The third one that he talked about was measurement, right? So allowing easy access to measure the return on investment. The fourth one that I found interesting was, you know, and it's really important, right? Because as a product manager, you know, we kind of have this methodology of fail fast and you know, fail often, learn, and then, you know, repeat. And the same thing kind of goes into play with marketing, right? So test your marketing strategy. You know, defining your goals is extremely important, right? So you're testing your marketing strategy and you're testing it early. It's kind of similar to like failing fast and failing early in order to learn and repeat. One thing, you know, Keith, that I would say that I kind of relate to on a personal side of the equation is, you know, marketing to the right audience at the right time. I think that is so important, and it's very, very key in terms of, you know, turning a potential prospect into a customer versus just getting rid of them and having them mad at you, right? So how many of us have seen ads pop up when you're on a website and you have to click like an X button, or you have to close out the ad and then you have to respond why you don't want to see the ad? And a lot of times we select, well, I'm not interested in this ad, or this ad does not relate to me, right? So I think by having the right level of marketing automation, you know, you should really only see products and services for items that, you know, you want at the time you want to see them. So again, you know, with that said, you know, thank you again to Webb, Angela, and Keith for giving us, you know, all this important information around partnerships and around the e-com boom, around marketing automation. And I want to kind of bring that team back online to go into our Q&A section. So Webb, Angela, Keith, are you guys all there?
I'm here.
Perfect. So we want, like I said, we're going to tackle some of the pre-submitted questions first, and then kind of go into the questions that were submitted in the chat. And if we have more time, we'll kind of try to tackle some other ones. So the first question is, I feel like it's a 2-part question because they were submitted, but they were related. The first question is by, and I apologize if I mess up anybody's name, is by Jennifer Schnoes. Jennifer asks, given the surge in contactless, what do we see the future of retail being? Right. The second question is by Gia Marks, which is, what's the future for brick and mortar stores as we transition into a digital commerce era? So Webb, I think that kind of fits within your wheelhouse, and I don't know if you want to take this one on.
Yeah, I'd be glad to. I have I don't have a crystal ball, but I do have a couple thoughts on this, 2 or 3 thoughts, and I sort of break it out into sort of segments of how consumers purchase, right? So if you think about your regular sort of your weekly staples, if you will, you know, your eggs, bread, you know, cereal, whatever, fruit, groceries, etc., the ever scarce toilet paper, all those things. I feel like you know, folks are already shifting towards sort of an pre-order, sort of a recurring fire and forget. That's either having it delivered by like the likes of a Walmart or an Amazon or your favorite grocery in your local community, or setting a recurring order that you would go pick up curbside at your local grocery store. So those types of things have already shifted that way. I know the mindset, certainly in my household and many that I've spoken to, have shifted heavily in that direction. Now, if you think about more the luxury goods or sort of non-essential spending that folks make, you know, where we used to maybe go out for a few hours and go shopping and stroll about the mall or your favorite shopping center or whatever outlets. Those have obviously changed, right? So folks are not as keen to go into the stores or be near crowds. So a lot of that has shifted into different scenarios. Either folks can buy things from a lot of the retailers that have adapted quickly or selling their products on their Instagram feeds and social media and enabling folks to either make a purchase and have it shipped to them right from there, or even you know, pre-ordering and having them shipped to them for try on and then send back, those types of things. And then if you think about so that scenario is sort of a mobile or web payment offering, mobile or web consumption offering. And then the next one is the last one sort of on my mind is family entertainment and people purchasing services and goods that way. They're certainly going to be socially distanced. People are really into experiences. So the idea of going to a shopping mall and just walking in there, you know, is probably not appealing to a large cross section of America. And folks are really interested to do an experience. And maybe they'll do a remote shopping experience via camera at a store in, you know, their favorite city, like, you know, in a different city, and then buying things that way. So the experience is sort of the way people are shifting, and that would be, and the payments are leveraged either mobile or QR or online, things of that nature. I'll turn it back to you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Webb. Yeah, it is interesting, right? I mean, you know, I personally shop online, but like my wife shops in person. So it is interesting post-pandemic, right? How her entire consumer behavior kind of changed, and it was changed not because of, you know, by choice, but really she changed it because she had to. And she never believed in shopping online because she wanted to touch and feel stuff. But now it's almost become natural for her. So I think it's just a matter of, you know, how does consumer behavior adapt? And, you know, similarly to how we've adapted to these virtual sessions, right? Whereas, you know, same thing with online shopping, with retail and brick and mortar stores. We just have to see the trend in terms of, does e-commerce kind of almost take over the brick and mortar piece?
I'll leave you with one quick comment on this. In order to succeed, it's my opinion, for small businesses to succeed in this space, they need to be able to accommodate every bit of it, right? To have a space for folks to walk into, for folks to order ahead and come pick it up at the curb, or for folks to order online and have it shipped to them. You know, they basically we need to accommodate the consumer wanting to purchase things however it makes them comfortable individually.
Yep. Awesome. The next question that we received was by Armando Marino. And Armando asked, is there a way to pass the transaction fee to the customer? Angela, I know you were chatting about this a little bit earlier in your presentation, so I'll let you kind of tackle this one.
Yeah, so thanks, Amar. It's a great question, and especially in this time when, you know, businesses have been used to the face-to-face transaction. They've been used to paying the credit card fees. Some of those retailers or, you know, municipalities or government entities, they have the ability to pass that fee on to the consumer through convenience fees and surcharging. Heartland does have a surcharging program for its card present and its online business. So if a point of sale provider is integrated with Heartland, whether directly or through a third party gateway, it does have the ability to leverage that surcharging capability so that your business as a customer of Heartland can then pass on those transaction fees. You know, especially now, you know, it's important to make sure that you're driving revenue wherever you can and looking at all your costs, and credit card processing is one of those necessary costs that every business has. Being able to pass on that surcharge is it's a great way for businesses to be able to kind of cut down on that expense. So, I definitely would suggest anybody look into the program that has the ability to do so, that isn't in one of the states that does not allow it.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Angela, on that front. The last question that we have that was submitted that I'll try to get to before we go into the chat and see if there's any questions in there was submitted by Karen Theis. And Karen asks, when customers pay with an online bill pay, we receive a check in the mail. Is there a way for these payments to be electronically deposited to our bank? I'll tackle this one because it kind of directly correlates to the product line that I support, which is bill pay. So I'm gonna make the assumption that when you receive a check in the mail, when a customer makes an online bill pay, we're assuming that they're making the bill payment through their financial institution, so through their bank. There is a way to get the electronic deposit into your bank account. So Heartland Bill Pay offers like hosted payment pages and hosted sites, which we can either spin up if you have a development team or if you don't have a development team. And within that hosted payment page, we offer the ability to pay by credit, debit, or ACH or e-check. And what that does is it allows the customer to basically enter their bank account information. And they can also save it on file if they wanted to. So for next time they want to make a bill payment, they can do that. And then we basically process the transaction and it automatically electronically deposit the funds into the merchant's bank account. So there you essentially eliminate the need for receiving checks or processing checks. There's with ACH guidelines, electronic checks still do take, because ACH kind of runs a little bit differently from card. We have like same day ACH, which is, you get the money the same day. The standard ACH can take 2 to 4 days to process, just because of the process that has to go through with the Fed. But that's still a lot shorter than, somebody going in saying, I'm going to pay my bill. You receive a check maybe 2 or 3 days later, then you have to deposit that check, which if you do it that day, it could take 2 to 4 days still. Or if you deposit it 2 days later, then it's still going to take another 2 to 4 days. So one payment that cycle of receiving the funds could be almost 10 days. Whereas if you are able to spin up a hosted payments page and take the ACH payment through your own hosted payment page, it's a lot faster. You get your funds much quicker, and it eliminates the check pieces. So looking into the chat, I did see one question. It was by Jody. Is there a timekeeping function being added in the near future to Heartland Retail? Webb or Angela, would you know anything about that?
Take it as a takeaway. I believe there is meant to be time and attendance connected into there via our payroll product, but why don't we take it as a takeaway, because I don't want to speak out of turn. Okay,
perfect. And please note, if we don't get to all of the questions that were either submitted in the chat or submitted before the meeting, we're going to try to get to those and hopefully respond back to you with an appropriate answer. I'll take one more question that was pre-submitted, and I think it's important, especially considering today's socioeconomic environment. Does Heartland provide loans to businesses? So Angela, do you want to tackle that?
Thanks, Amar. It's a great question, and Heartland does have the ability to offer loans. We have partnered with a partner called Lendio. If you go to heartland.us/capital, you can find out more information about that. I know that our team has really been working tirelessly over the last 9 months to help our customers and those that are actually not our customers in order to gain access to capital. I know that they were able to facilitate almost 6,000 PPP loans, which help keeps the light on for a lot of businesses across the U.S. this year. Whether it's, you're looking because you need a new roof or you need to keep the lights on, whatever, the situation may be, maybe you need to access to capital in order to grow your inventory, whether it's $25,000 or $2 million, right? And what you're needing. I would talk to them. Feel free to go to heartland.us/capital to find out more information, like I said, and hopefully we can help your business like we have so many.
Thanks, Angela. I'll take one last question because I just saw it come in from Kathleen. It's for Keith. So with COVID-19 impacting so many aspects of our lives, has there been a change in the best vehicle for digital marketing?
That's a great question, Kathleen. From my perspective, I would say with the fact that folks have time now to really focus on doing research about the products that they're looking to use, now that we have folks really shopping so heavily online, from my perspective, I would say personalization on your website seems to be working a lot better now, right? So ensuring that as a prospect hits your site, you're really feeding them information that's really relevant to their search, right? If they're looking for a particular color of thing or a particular product, you don't want to serve them something that is completely different from what they're looking for. You want to capture that sale, especially in today's world when now folks have the opportunity and the ability to jump from site to site because they have more time on their hand at home. So personalization seems to be one of the things digitally that we're working on a lot harder now, really trying to refine it, ensuring that as that prospect hit our site and continues to go through pages within our site, everything ties together, everything is absolutely relevant.
Perfect. Thank you, Keith. With that said, I think we're at the time to do the giveaway for the Apple Watch Series 6. So I don't have a drum roll, but with that being said, congratulations for making it to the end. And the winner of the Apple Watch Series 6 is Karen Lynn. Karen, congratulations. We will reach out to you with the email address that you used to register to get the shipping information, and we will ship you out that Apple Watch. So to close, again, the key theme was really around partnerships, being able to pivot, being able to adapt, but then also how do you also adapt in marketing automation with COVID, and how does marketing automation help you in terms of growing your revenue? I really want to thank the speakers who spoke today. Webb, Angela, Keith, you did a fantastic job. I truly appreciate every single person who joined today's meeting because you did have to take an hour out of your day. So we appreciate it. If you have any questions for either myself, Angela, Webb, or Keith, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. If you have any other questions or if you just want to know what Heartland offers in terms of products or services, please visit www.heartland.us. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. And thank you for joining. Have a good one, everyone.